Just feeling drawn on the a Facebook thing again with the free psychic readings on Facebook group there. In one of the comments, Mary Ellen Carter has just asked any reason for hope anymore or something. Extremely generic, and it's not normally something that that I'd normally bother with, because there's no reason for a reading, there's no name for the dead if you want to communicate with them, no particular thing. But I just thought I just feel drawn to that. I don't know why. I'm basically breaking every rule in the book. Not only am I doing a reading for somebody who doesn't give a reason for why they want the reading as such, but I'm also answering comments, which I don't normally do. Responding to comments, I ask for the truth on behalf of Mary Ellen Carter. Is there any reason for hope anymore? And I ask this in the name of truth, right conduct, peace, love and non-violence. Blessed be to the crow, the carrier of souls from darkness into light. And we just cut the tarot like that there, and we just place the crow's magic tarot to the side. And I will deal out 3 cards for you there, Mary, and let's see what the crack is. What's been going on. We're very much in the dark, of course. I do like doing this sort of thing, don't have me wrong, but I just find it easier if there was a reason given, because then you can get guidance for whatever it is. You don't go to a lawyer and just say, I want to sue somebody about something, or you don't go to the police and say, I want somebody arrested for something. They'd laugh at you, wouldn't they? But basically we're breaking every rule in the book here, and I'm to blame this time, so if it goes wrong it's my fault. We'll deal out 3 cards for you. As I say, I don't mind doing this, but I don't like doing it because of the confusion that it causes, and it doesn't offer guidance. But if this is something for you, then we can work on it to play around with it, see what the crack is. So we're dealing out these 3 cards here. Notice the 3 cards are like a timeline, isn't it? From beginning, middle and end. The recent past, the present and the immediate future. Let's see what Crow has to say, because we're working with the darkness. Literally we're in the dark, aren't we? We don't know what the hell is going on. We don't know what the hell is causing this, but certainly you know what's going on, and Crow knows what's going on. So let's just see if we can bring something to light there. And as we do, straight away the 10 of Swords in your recent past, indicating of course the Lord of Ruin. Something black and clouded, something very dark has recently taken place. I would say this is a recent thing, although some people would say the whole life is screwed up, always has been, always will be. Is there any hope for... I've got this is a recent thing that's just taken place, and maybe you're at wit's end or something like that, and of course the Crow is there carrying you through the darkness. A bit like I just tend to relate this to the footprints thing, as I've said before, where this single set of footprints is there where you're being carried, not so much where you're alone yourself there. Yeah, they're not your footprints. But the Crow is there, of course. The Crow is the bird, is a member of the bird people. And of course, the winged ones, as you would say, they carry the messages from the heavens to the earth. So they offer guidance, they bring guidance with them, don't they? And maybe there has been guidance just recently for you, but that guidance, maybe you either haven't heeded, or it's been something that you've been incapable of carrying out because of maybe pending circumstances beyond your control. I don't know. But nevertheless, something has worn itself out. I suppose a bit like when you say, "Oh, that's outdone its welcome." Somebody's outdone the welcome, or it's died a natural death, or something like that. It's a similar sort of thing where the circumstances, maybe it is to do with grief or something, and people have just lived so long, they've been ill. Tell me about it. And you just watch them just degrade until they become nothing. They become an existence, and then of course they finally, the gods have mercy and release them from it. But either way, whatever this is, whatever fog, whatever mist you entered into there, whatever darkness, whatever it was that you entered into there, of course you needed the guidance and you needed carrying, and the crow was there to carry you from that darkness into light, or to carry you through that darkness into the light, the other side. Did you see the light, or are you still in that darkness right now? Let's see what is going on here for you, Mary, and we'll just flip the card nice and slowly, not to disturb its energy. And you've got Judgment there. That's a major arcana card, isn't it? A Sagittarian sort of energy to it. Got magic attached to it, of course. Although you had the Gemini of the Ten of Swords just recently, over the past 3 or 4 weeks or so. This has manifested itself into the Sagittarian magic of Judgment. Notice Judgment as a major arcana card, which indicates the minor arcana card of the minor arcana energy of the Ten of Swords. It sort of said that really you did have power to change this. You had power to maybe strike a match or bring light to that darkness, regardless of however dark it was. But now, with it being a major arcana energy, right now you have no power over it. It's more of a permanent thing. On Judgment, on the traditional Judgment card, in like say your IJJ and the one JJ and the Tarot of Marseille, the more traditional, you've got Cupid blowing the arrow, not Cupid, Gabriel blowing the trumpet on the last day. And this, on the Judgment Day, the Day of Judgment, and then you've got people coming out of the graves, naked. All are naked before the Lord, or the guilty will be revealed. But of course the ones coming out the grave, for some are covered and some are naked. And the ones who are naked are the ones, like I say, all are naked before the Lord, and their guilt, their sins are found out, and they are convicted accordingly. But those who are covered up, I suppose, in a way, maybe that's the sort of thing they've tried to cover it up and can't cover it up anymore. Of course, it works both ways, doesn't it? But usually all are naked before the Lord, and those who try to cover up are the guilty ones, because the ones who are naked don't mind, because they've got nothing to hide. This is what it is really. All are naked before the Lord in that sense, and the ones who are naked are, in a way, it's a revival for them, because they've been accused of something they haven't done, and it's a revival for them. But for those who cover themselves up to try and hide their guilt, they will be stripped naked, and they will be seen for the guilty ones and convicted accordingly. So there's two ways. Covering up. What sort of got this cover up thing? I don't know what's going on. Wow, I just suddenly feel that. This Judgment energy here with Crow, of course, shows an open door. You have the choice to go through it or not. You've got the Moon, of course, introspection, the moth that flies towards it. Is that you flying toward the light that's within you? Maybe to see the light that the Crow is guiding you towards isn't so much just the light of realization, but the light that's within you, the light of the world that's within all of us. And once you see the light that's within yourself, that is when there's hope. That's where the hope really exists, isn't it? The light that's within you. It's all right waiting for somebody to turn on the light, but why don't you become empowered, turn that light on yourself? Judgment also is to do with metamorphose and changing, and also awareness or awakening, becoming becoming awakened to what is going on right now. Maybe that's what it is. As the more you learn, the more you wish you didn't know. This is just one of those things. How life is, unfortunately. Shit happens, as they say. Let's see what the immediate future is waiting for you. Immediate as in the next moon phase, as you would say. Between now and this time next month, usually, isn't it? The next 27 days or so. That's an interesting one. The Page of Coins. A rather an earthly sort of feel to this. Asking if there's any hope anymore. Often the Page of Money or whatever. Some cards call it. Some decks refer to it as money, don't they, or whatever. It's Earth, isn't it? It's the earthly part of Earth. Why the earthly part? Well, the Page is the earthly part of. In this case, notice how you've got the Black Panther symbolising passion. I suppose you must I suppose understand what your passion is and be passionate. You know, you use that to give you the drive, maybe. But the Black Panther is one of the four-legged ones. Notice here we've got the winged ones with the crow and the winged ones there, maybe with the eagle there, representing that, and then Judgment, helping you to become more awakened to what's going on. But of course, you can be awakened. You can become awakened right now and use introspection and search within, but it's up to you to go through the door that's open for you. And what's through that door? Well, empowerment is through that door. Notice these are the winged ones, of course, and they carry the messages from the heavens to the earth, the bird people, the winged ones, and that's the guidance. There's been guidance just recently, and there's guidance right now, isn't there? But Spirit will offer protection, because the Black Panther is one of the four-legged spirits, and they walk the earth, so they protect. Like the fish people, they heal because they are the water. They exist in water, and the ancient ones provide the wisdom, the lizard people and that and whatever. In this case, you've got the protection of the Black Panther. The Black Panther is empowerment, because the Black Panther walks through the shadows and is able to help you express yourself. And of course, that's when you'll be able to send and receive messages between now and this time next month. Maybe saying, just maybe letting what your true intentions are, letting people let them know what you want. Often when there's a trouble, or you have a complaint, or something, you have an issue, people will ask, what do you want from this? And maybe this is the time between now and this time next month, up to the end of the year, you know, maybe through the festive period when you're communicating with people more or socialising more. There's a chance of socialising more with people. Maybe it's then when you can tell them what you want. Let your true intentions be known, and instead of bottling it up, be empowered. Allow the Black Panther to empower you. And with your power, with your passion, of course, express what you really want. And by that, of course, it means that you're no longer bottling things up. Will there be hope anymore? Of course, you know the answer to that question really is yes. We know the answer is yes. But what type of yes is it? It's the sort of yes that says yes if you are prepared to go through that door right now and face up to maybe whatever that moon, the energy of the moon goddess there. Remember, the moon goddess, of course, is the crone, and wears herself out, as you'd say, becomes old, like the Ten of Swords, when communication and creativity and knowledge wears itself out to such a point it becomes darkness, and lack of understanding and so on because of it. But either way, that introspection is on offer. You must accept that the moon goddess is also the maiden and the mother as well, forever old, forever young, in the sense of it's the end of one cycle, beginning of another. And as you face the music, maybe if that's the judgment, the major arcana energy. Notice how the major sort of energy, or the most important part of this situation that you've been in and that you're about to be in, is actually you're in right now, is what's happening right now with that energy there of judgment. And it's what comes of that, how you express yourself. And yes, there's protection to come, but you did have power to change it before, and you'll have power to change it again as you express yourself and tell people what it is you want from this. And as you receive the messages and you send the messages, etc., according as you communicate with the physical, of course, with your passion, to say what it is you want. But for right now, you've got no power over it. The only power you have is to choose whether to go through that door, even though you can't choose what door to go through, though, can you? Really, the moon is there. You can't choose whether it's there or not, but it's there in the sense of you can choose introspection, but if you go through that door, you have to use the introspection, and you have to accept what's on the other side. Maybe this is what it is. Maybe the question isn't so much, is there hope anymore, but is there anything hopeful that I can accept? Is there anything acceptable ahead? Well, I'm thinking that is the question. I don't know. Is there hope anymore? Is it that, or is it just the fact of, is there just anything acceptable? Anything that I'll accept? Maybe you've been saying no just too much, maybe, and it's time to say yes, accept it, and accept that for as much as there is darkness, you know it's darkness because there's light also within that darkness, and that light is within you. That light and that darkness is within you. It's within all of us. It's the light of the world, and you can passionately move forward. You can express yourself, and that itself will protect you, because she said no to this, or because she said she didn't want that, or because she said she'd rather have that instead. We know what the crack is. We know where we stand with her, and it means that we can't try and fob her off with anything. Whereas before, maybe silence isn't necessarily golden. It just means appeasement, and we know what happens when we do appeasement. It can start wars. It can destroy many lives. Appeasement can. I'd rather not go into all the different ideologies that are being appeased right now in the world, just because we are too afraid to be called something like racist or thisist or thatist. I'd rather not go into that, because Islam isn't a race. So there you go. Anyway, that's by and by. That's nothing to do with this, Mary, so we won't bring that into it. But for now, of course, we're going round in circles as well, aren't we? We're sort of repeating ourselves now. So I think for now, Mary, I think it's just time to accept, really, for you to accept that yes, there's protection ahead. You can protect yourself with empowerment by saying, no, I am not a pushover. I will not take this anymore. But go through that door and find the light that exists within you through introspection. Search, a bit of soul searching going on now. You cannot prevent that. That's the major arcana energy. Maybe the judgment is not so much just you being judged by others or by the gods. It's you're judging yourself, and maybe it's that's the hard thing, the soul searching thing, of course. Because of the ruin that's taken place, because of the black and clouded energy that you've recently experienced. But of course, that black and clouded energy, you can manipulate it. You can become empowered and move in the shadows. with the Black Panther, and Black Panther will help you will help you express your passion and say what it is you really want from this. And that's really when you see the light, because you see the silhouette, don't you, of that which is empowering you, or the empowered shines a bit like an aura, isn't it? They tend to see your aura, and you tend to light, you'll light up a bit, and that's where the hope is. But of course, as we've said, well, the question, is there hope anymore? You know the answer is yes, really. So it's really more, well, is there anything there that's acceptable to me, because everything else that's been offered hasn't been. So unfortunately, sometimes we just have to accept it, move on, and if we can't accept it, we have to try and become empowered and protect ourselves from any harm that we perceive that's coming from that. But maybe, of course, if that's there to make us stronger, then we should allow it to strengthen us, because Crowley said one must fall many times before one is raised up. And for you, Mary, as we're sort of repeating ourselves, as I said, for now, these cards have spoken.